Welcome to Tarot and Tea with Stephanie. I'm Stephanie, and this is your weekly energy wave and intuitive tarot forecast. In this sacred space, we ride the crest of the cosmic tides to gain the guidance and wisdom of this week's currents. Creators, I have a confession to make. This week is not about tea, it's all about the coffee. There are just some days or series of days that you wake up and need the coffee. As much as I love tea, I'm going through one of these times where I need the boost. Coffee, however, is very versatile. I always add my collagen. Sometimes I'll add a little grass-fed butter in there for a little healthy fat. And I definitely like a little bit of sweet cream. Whatever your tea or coffee beverage this week, sit back, enjoy, and let's get into the energies. Welcome to Creators on the Crest, where we rise with the tide and align with the truth. I'm going to start us off today with a channeled message, and you're going to find that it connects nicely to this week's psychic weather forecast as well, but it will also blend in a bit of the holiday hubbub that we all face. This week's Tarot and Tea covers the dates of November 25th through December 2nd. Two things came up as I was meditating on the message to share this week. The first thing that came up was the energy of gratitude, and the second thing that came up was emotional energies. So I have this lovely deck called the Illuminated Earth Oracle. A card that came from this deck is Deluge. Deluge, which is like a downpour, right? It's that rain that just keeps coming and never stops. And it's very much a metaphor for emotional energies. So there's this downpouring of emotions. This could present itself in you processing emotionally or you feeling more greatly the emotions of those around you, especially at any holiday functions that you might be attending. But it also gives us the opportunity to begin to understand how to process this level of emotional energy. Gratitude would have us connecting in the heart space, of course. The great transmuter is your heart. First and foremost, minding your own emotional energies, making sure that those are a priority for you. If you need time and space to cry, to yell, to weep, whatever comes up for you, it's important that you honor it, because there is this tendency right now. This is connected to gratitude channels. So there's this tendency right now to get overwhelmed with emotion. But that can be a good thing if we transmute it properly with the energy of gratitude. So if we can find a way to channel this deluge into the heart space and transmute, we can expand into a deluge of gratitude, a downpouring of gratitude, and really connecting with that energy, which allows us to expand. I've always felt a unique connection with gratitude, grace, and generosity. I feel like those three things are interwoven, and I feel deeply that a lot of you are going to be experiencing new heights and new depths in these energies. One of the key factors that I'm picking up is that at times it might feel overwhelming, and depending on your specific chart and your specific circumstances, this has the ability to be tuned up or tuned down. There may be a day in the week that you're particularly sensitive to your emotional energies, and the other days may feel more flat. The key is for you to make sure that you're honoring those times. when you feel the emotional energies arise. And I want to say, no matter what else is going on around you, if you need to excuse yourself from a function, if you need to go on a walk by yourself or take the dog on a walk, if you need to get out in nature to ground yourself and get your bare feet on the ground and hug a tree until you feel better, then that's what you need to do. The second deck I have by the same author, Claire Mack, is the Faceted Garden Oracle. And we have the card Watershed. So what I was really sensing as I was tapping into the channeled message for today is that as we learn and deepen our relationship to processing the energy, transmuting the emotional energies through the heart space, the great transmuter, we are deepening our connection inside ourselves to our emotional stability. A watershed is all about the preservation and recycling of the water back into rivers and lakes. And I do think there's going to be an internal process for most of you where you will be letting certain energies go back into nature. Certain emotions will flow down the river. You're ready to let those go. The emotional connections to situations, letting them go. It is what it is. It was what it was. I've learned from it and I'm letting it go. Then there's the intuitive force, because we are at the time of this reading dealing with a water grand trine. There's that intuitive force where you conserve some of that water for yourself to hydrate this new emotional body that is emerging out of you. This new emotional body is connecting you deeply into yourself. For women, I'm feeling something to do with nourishing and replenishing your womb space and your womb energy. There's a feeling of fertility here. Fertility, whether it be babies, new ideas, new projects. In particular, it's how you feel about those things. This is the energy of having a depth of gratitude for your knowledge and wisdom, for the ideas you have, but even moreover, how you feel about it. This message is really about you connecting in and having deep gratitude for your emotional energies, for how they've informed you, for the depths and also the heights that you've been able to reach in their transformation, in the transmutation, the alchemy of moving through emotional energies. No matter how powerful and overwhelming they could seem at first. You truly are becoming the watershed in and of yourself. And what I'm seeing and picking up is that some of you are really connected with the energy of that flow. And when needed, you're able to redirect the water and keep it for yourself to hydrate and nourish you. And when it's most appropriate, you're able to open the dam and let it flow into another body of water to be completely transformed into something new. I see this being beneficial for the dream time as well, for you getting more knowledge and information from your dreams and waking up with the feeling of integration, waking up knowing something and being able to act accordingly on what you have gained from the depths of your subconscious energies. We've been working on this for a few weeks now, but this week brings in the gratitude, the grace, and the generosity related to how you now work with everything that has landed on your plate, emotionally speaking. Finding a way to connect in deep gratitude to your awareness of this, to your intuition around this, giving yourself grace when needed, when you need to step away and process some of the emotions to transmute them, and being generous with the water that you conserve for yourself and being generous with the water that you let go of. Maybe it's for someone else, maybe it's for you down the road, maybe it needs to feed back into the water cycle for a while. Maybe it needs to percolate through an aquifer. It's trusting those little inner nudges that you get, those little feelings that say, this drop is for you, this drop is to let go. This bucket is for you, this bucket is to pour out in the river and let it float downstream. Creators, stay tuned because I'm about to get into a new tarot reading, a new spread that I've created this week. Of course, we're going to go deeper into some of these energies that I've already discussed to reveal what we've been learning from the water grand trine energies and how we can continue to benefit from that as we move throughout the week. So let me know in the comments, what stood out about the channeled message? Are you feeling these emotional tugs, these energies? Let me know. Hello, creators, and welcome to the tarot portion of this week's Tarot and Tea. I do want to remind everybody that these are general and collective readings. I am picking up on more than one energy here. Although, if you take the time to immerse yourself in this reading, you will find exactly what you need. Your intuition, your instincts, your greater being has led you here for a reason. Now, today I came up with a new spread. Once again, I've been inspired to come up with different spreads. We have entered into Sagittarius season. The sun is now in Sagittarius, so we've had a little bit of that fire, and I was thinking about the bow and the arrow, and I decided we would do an arrow reading because I really felt like with all the emotions that we've been dealing with, the depths of emotions, the even letting go stale emotions, even things that we've held on to that we didn't need to, I really felt it's time to uplift out of the depths, to catch our breath, to have a little fresh air. Now, the other intention about this reading is that it is to be a timeless reading. So no matter when you tune in, if you tune in during this water grand trine, another water grand trine down the road, or just during Sagittarius season, or even another time, you're landing here exactly when you need to. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm getting these cards laid out here. The other fun thing about this reading is we're going to get some double advice cards here, which I'm really excited about. I'm already seeing the Sagittarius energy kind of shine through in this reading, but we've got a little bit of everything here. Creators, our starting energy today is the Three of Cups. So this is at the base of the arrow, okay, where you would notch it if you're a Sagittarius bowman or bowwoman. Really feeling that this Three of Cups energy is you and the different ways that you're processing your emotions. Three of Cups, traditionally speaking, is about a coming together, a celebration. Carrying on from the channeled message where we have gratitude, grace, and generosity. Remember I mentioned those 3 G's. I believe that the Three of Cups is representing your internal process and your emotional readiness to become a deeper embodiment of gratitude, grace, and generosity. This energy feels very unforced, which I really like because there's a lot of gratitude practices out there. There's a lot of expectations around Thanksgiving. There's also a lot of darkness around the holiday as celebrated and even at the same time grieved in the United States. If we take this back a little bit into the times before the United States was even a thing and it was uncolonized, we really are reaching into the energies of the time of the year, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, of the harvest. And the harvest has come in. We are celebrating together. We're not quite closed off yet to the bitter cold. Being able to be active and celebrate that. This is an emotional celebration as well that I'm picking up here. So let's leave it with that energy. We are going to do some clarifiers, but that's where we're starting from. That's our starting point here. From here, we're going to proceed through the body, the mind, the heart, and the soul, taking us to the point of our arrow, which will be the highest expression. And then the two anchors that come down are going to be advice cards. So this is going to be really fun. We're moving on to the body next. As I tune into the body energies, and I have pulled the King of Pentacles, I really am loving this energy. I feel that coming out of a time where we are heavy on emotional energies, and that those emotional energies are still very active all around us, the King of Pentacles feels like a very grounding force for the body. It does feel like relaxation in the nervous system. And it's your message that if you're not feeling that way, it's time to embody this energy. The King of Pentacles also doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so if you've been made to feel like you have to go somewhere as an expectation for the holidays, know this, you do not have to do that. The King of Pentacles allows the energies that are meant to come to him. This may be giving some of you the permission to stay steady, stay grounded, and even stay home. We are still dealing with a great deluge of retrograde energies. And even though I feel some of those calming this week, the King of Pentacles comes in to remind us to stay strong, stay grounded. Don't allow ourselves to be drawn out into expectation, people-pleasing, dishonoring our truth. The King of Pentacles reminds us to honor what is going on inside the physical body and to stay with yourself and provide the physical body what it needs. As we move on to the mind, per typical, we're faced with a challenging energy of the Nine of Swords. This is representing to me some of the side effects of honoring the body, of honoring your space, of honoring your truth, of taking the time for your emotions. Because of old and outdated belief systems, this time around, this Nine of Swords feels very much like stress that comes from not honoring the body, and or for those of you that are honoring your body and are doing a really good job of that, the stress that comes from an outdated belief system that you have to show up and be all these things for others. I've got to do it for this person. I've got to do it for that person. Some of you may be dealing with last minute boundaries. We are in retrograde energies at the time of this reading. Some of you may find that you have to set boundaries at the last minute, or that something you've communicated to someone has not been heard, and this boggles your mind. I feel like some of you have communicated something very clearly to someone, and they're just acting like they never even heard you. I feel like you talked to them. I feel like you made eye contact. Something went in the ear and passed right out the other. Or whatever you were sharing was just too much for that person. They were unable to integrate that. So your mind may be a little torn up about what is going on. Did they not hear? Am I not speaking their language here? As to what my place, my purpose, my path in all this was. This energy could have some of you second guessing yourself about things, okay? So this could be an energy where you've set the boundary, you've made the decision, you're not going to go where it doesn't feel good in your body to go, but you have a bit of second guessing. The Nine of Swords energy is meant to challenge us in this way to see how we respond. So let's move into our heart energy. What is that telling us? Because we really want to paint the full picture here. We've heard from the body, we've heard from the mind, and in the heart space, we get the Emperor. It's a bit of that fire coming in, actually connected to the sign of Aries, for those of you who might be looking into that. Some of you may have a love interest that's in Aries, or you may be moving forward in your relationships, or something romantic coming from the heart. The Emperor, however, begs for confidence, is challenged by the ego, yearns for stability through an enlightened father energy. This could be the way that some of you father within yourself, that you connect to the masculine energies within and around you. I'm getting for some of you in the heart space here, it's how you feel about a brother or brotherhood, band of brothers. I'm getting that kind of a feel as well, or how you notice this around you. There's an energy of distinguishing the difference between true camaraderie and groups of people that get together through expectation and or force. The heart space is really distinguishing these energies right now. As I move on to the soul, we have a similar energy to the heart and another fire energy here with the King of Wands. The body gave us the King of Pentacles, which reassures me with this King of Wands. The King of Wands, again, the challenges, like the Emperor, is the ego, letting go the ego, sitting steadily in one's confidence, connecting this on a soul level. I think for most of you, honestly, this means a deeper, more confident, more connected, awakening, igniting of your soul's purpose, allowing your soul to be informed, not your mind, your soul. Your mind's a little confused right now. It's, tied up. But the soul, the limitless soul, the boundless soul will be picking up how to take action. Fire is a transformative energy. So the action that you may be informed, your soul may be informed to take, may not be the action that you originally thought you were going to take. It's okay to change it up. The highest expression of all of these energies, body, mind, heart, soul, the energies we're in now, bringing together the astrology, bringing together our particular blueprint, the highest expression of all of this shows up in the 11 card, the Justice card. Alignment, balance. The energies that we've been through, the energies of where we've been and the lessons we learned are being integrated into our holistic being, that we may step forward in complete alignment. Alignment with what, you might ask? Alignment with truth, and not the subjective kind of truth, like this is my truth, this is your truth, I get to pick. Objective truth. The laws of the universe level truth here. The Justice archetype embodies that energy, connection with the natural prime creator of the universe. And the term that you use for it, for you may have no problem using the term God. I personally do not. Some people use creator source. I personally love the vibration of the natural prime creator of the universe. A lot of what is defined as God out there is not true, is not aligned. The Justice card indicates that we may be taking a bit different perspective here on worship. Why would a natural prime creator require worship? Some of you may be reflecting as we approach the holidays and we approach the very religious traditions associated with that. Some of you may be considering, what is my true aligned relationship to creation, to source, outside of everything I've been taught and told? And through the emotional processing, through the fires of transformation, you're coming into a deeper understanding of this. It's igniting you. We've got the fire energies that came in with the Emperor and the King of Wands. It's igniting you. It's igniting your will force so that you can take action on these things in alignment. To be able to distinguish this level of discernment, to be able to discern at this level takes work, practice, deep conversations with yourself. And that's what the Justice card is coming up with here as the highest expression. So interesting. Now we got two advice cards as the little brackets down here of the arrow. We have the tip of the arrow, the Justice card, the highest expression, and two advice cards. We got the 4 and the 8 of Wands. Ooh, more fire. Maybe the way that the Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries energies are informing us. 8 of Wands is about quickness, swiftness, Four of Wands is about stability, structure. Very interesting that we might be navigating both of those. Energies that are slower to form, building a foundation with the Four of Wands. Perhaps the universe is going to be sending in some messages here very quickly once we're standing on that stable foundation. Let's get some clarifiers today and see what else we can learn about these energies. First, we're going to clarify the starting energy, the Three of Cups. I'm doing one card, a one-card clarifier. And for the Three of Cups, we got that Death card. That's that energy we're coming out of, that Scorpio energy, the depth of knowing, the depth of necessity to integrate. We're discerning what to let flow on down the river, what to conserve for ourselves. We're going deeper into the 3Gs, the gratitude, grace, and generosity. Flow and dance is coming up here. And I love this because I feel like what my creator family is showing me here is that you have done such an amazing job of transmutation, of allowing the alchemical process to inform you. I'm also, for some, getting a bit of an element of an aspect of your ego that's transforming, that's dying, that you're letting go of, that honestly it feels really good to let it go. For some of you, this feels like a bit of an arm wrestling match. I'm seeing like an arm wrestling match with someone in your family, someone that you've been at odds with energetically. Arm wrestling. Let me know if that resonates in the comments. Has anybody actually arm wrestled, or you feel that dynamic with a person in your family? For the Body card, the King of Pentacles. Wow, we got the Ten of Wands. Some of us may feel blocked in certain areas of our body. We need to be paying attention to where the stuck and blocked energy is. For some of you, this may be a bit of a digestive thing where you feel a bit constipated. It's a feeling of, how do I sit with myself in this comfortable abundance in this way when I know I'm not perfect? How do I sit with myself in this comfortable way when I think I have to do more work? I think I have to hustle. I think I have to carry all the weight of this. I think I have to plan the event. I think I have to invite everyone. I don't think I can honor my body. I don't feel I'm not proceeding in an honoring way. I just keep adding more. The body is saying to us, drop the burdens, drop the unneeded responsibilities. I recognize I'm a parent. Some of us have responsibilities. We're stewards, we're guardians for children, but we're not to be stewards and guardians for people who act like children that are grown adults. No. Let them go. Lay these wands down. It's up to them to pick them up. Your peace and the health of your body is more important than that. Take it or leave it. There it is. All right, let's look at this Nine of Swords in the mind space here. Whew. Okay, good news here. Good news. I think as I'm reflecting on this story here, I really feel that we will go through the process of overcoming this stress with the Nine of Swords, the stress of expectation, the stress of people pleasing. And not only will we overcome it, but with the Fool card here, we actually get to say, I don't give a flying you know what. I feel great. It's reminding me of that song, I feel good, da-na-na-na-na-na. I knew that I would now. All right? I love this message because it feels like some of the stress is finally being let go and a new, carefree, youthful, fresh energy is coming in. We don't know or care if there's a plan B right now. We're going to take the leap. We're going in to these new energies because they feel good, damn it. Life is calling, and I am heeding the call. To heck with all that stress. I'm letting it go. Judge me if you want to judge me. Blame me if you want to blame me. I'm not going to carry that. And that's a beautiful shift in the mind, especially since in the body we were carrying that burden of the wands. So with this mental shift here, perhaps that will gift us the fortitude to drop those wands. Cool. Let's get into the heart next with the Emperor. Again, it's been a lot recently about mother energies. This is more fatherly energies coming through. Masculine energies, how we relate to putting a life together with the Ten of Pentacles. I feel definitely those earthly grounding energies like we saw in the King of Pentacles for the body are represented here again in the Ten of Pentacles for the heart. And with the Emperor's confidence, we can really anchor in our trust that everything is going to work out, that everything is working out. The Ten of Pentacles, it definitely, and I'm going to tell you, for whoever needs to hear this, if you've been getting sensations or buzzing, or I'm not getting the tinnitus, it's more like pulsing and like a whooshing sound in the right ear. I really feel like some of your ancestors are trying to contact you and connect with you. Ooh. Somebody's really getting some messages here. Maybe it is from dad. Maybe it is a father energy. I've lost my dad. He passed in 2020. It's like coming in on the right side of the body, on the masculine side. It's a shifting. Something is out of balance, but it's coming into balance with these energies and these messages that are coming in. So really pay attention to your right ear. There also may be information for how you can create more stability. Because we are also in the area of the heart, and the heart is the great transmuter, I really trust this energy. I trust that the Emperor is not going to be so embroiled in the ego that he can't see the wisdom of how to bring it all together. Some of us have been really wanting things to come together and just seeing again and again that they're not, because we're dealing with so many changing energies. But can we allow something to come together in our heart of hearts that represents our stability within, and from that vibrational frequency and what we're outputting, trusting and having the confidence that it's going to come in for us, despite the craziness of the world. Let's look at the Soul card that we got with the King of Wands. Again, that fatherly energy, that fire energy. We got the Knight of Pentacles. I really appreciate this energy. It is the energy of having a solid strategy. Clarifying the Emperor in the heart, we got the Ten of Pentacles. We're kind of skipping over the Page of Pentacles. We can assume that energy is implied here too. But in the soul, we come to the Knight of Pentacles. Our plan is coming together. Our relationship to our purpose and passion is in view. We have a vision of it now. It's very much connected to us stabilizing our own energy through these changing times, through these challenging times. The Knight of Pentacles, yes, it's slower moving, and that's why some of you may be feeling that frustration, because everything else in our world and all the inverted ways that it's expressed tells us you have to have everything right now, you have to get it right now. And it tends to lose sight of what you're truly building, that foundational energy that you're building, which comes up in the advice card with the Four of Wands. The Emperor is about stability as well, that depth of a solid foundation. Some of us have been working on those cracks in the foundations. And so maybe with the Knight of Pentacles, we're testing out some of that. This could definitely represent a relationship evolution or change with you, your father, how you are as a father, the father of your children. Very much in the heart and soul right now. Very much a frequency to tune into and to pay attention to. Let's look at the Justice card, the highest expression of this journey in this Arrow Tarot spread. Let me know what you think. Which part has resonated the most with you so far? Tell me in the comments. Okay, the Justice card, the highest expression, the number 11 and the number 20, the Judgment card, 2 major arcana cards, both starting with J. This new place we found ourselves in that may have felt a bit uneasy or unstable because we're pulling away from the narratives of what's spoon-fed out there. We're coming into alignment with the natural law of the universe. It puts us in a vulnerable position with the Judgment card. And at the same time, we are being called into this next iteration of our journey. We don't even need to see the Justice card. The archetype is blindfolded. We don't need to see everything about how things will balance out. It's about the knowing that they will. We're being called into our higher purpose, into our mission, our vision, in a deeper, more profound way. And what I get here is the rest of the operations of the world, the inversions in the effects field. They're not there yet. Those energies, those people, those situations, those cults, those organizations, they're not there yet. They're not progressed enough yet to recognize this. Hence the challenge for those of us that have taken the red pill. We are the creator beings. We've taken radical self-responsibility. We are the forerunners of this energy. And the universe is asking us to trust. We're simultaneously being called, and it feels good to get into that melody, that harmony for ourselves, while at the same time, the back of the mind question, how is this all going to balance out? And the universe says, it's balancing out. It's about trust. Let's clarify our 2 advice cards. Let's go with the 4 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. Whew. Let's just get the shadow out of the way first. Let's get some of the hard energy out of the way. For some of you, this will be a little heads up. Some of you know where this energy is coming from. The 8 of Wands, that quickness that comes in. You know, we've got the 4 of Wands here at the other side of the advice. The 8 of Wands is clarified by the 5 of Wands. Conflict. Someone is witnessing, is seeing, is feeling, even if it's not conscious, your growth and evolution, your ability to stand in justice and judgment, your ability to answer that clarion call for yourself, for your purpose, for your vision, and in comes this challenging energy, fast. This could be someone not comfortable with the new energy that you're in. This could be someone who is panicking because they feel like they'll be left behind. This is someone who's trying to control a situation, who wants to put it together. It's nefarious. It's conflicting. Someone's going to try to draw you out if they haven't already, coming in with that fast message. So knowing this as a creator, you can batten down the hatches, lace up your boots, and we reference that beautiful book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and we make the determination we will not get drawn out, and I almost say drowned by this person. They could come in with conflicting energies that are trying to emotionally manipulate you as well. Even though I see wands, I see passion and fire and nefarious kind of planning. Someone may try to force you into a decision in a short amount of time. Someone may come in relatively quickly under the guise of, oh, I'm here to help, I'm here to save the day, kind of a savior archetype kind of vibe. For some of you, this could be, especially those of you who are rewriting your relationship to your spirituality, to traditional religion versus non-traditional, connecting to the roots, pre-Abrahamic. We're going deep there. And this could be a challenge on that level, on a spiritual level. For some of you, it may not come up in the physical world. Could come up on the spiritual plane. Could come through in a dream. I think this dream would get your attention. It's disruptive energy. And so the advice here is to shield up and be aware of that, okay? And, again, we're getting a whole lot from the universe that's telling us to trust ourselves and trust the longer term foundations that we're setting up and the work we've already done to seal our foundations to ensure that it's steadfast and can stand the test of time. The Four of Wands, hey, there's another Justice card. Yes! There's the highest expression coming up with this advice card of the Four of Wands. Stay committed to your foundation. Stay committed to your alignment with the truth. Stay committed to all that you have learned. Committed to the groundedness in the body. Committed to the clarity of the mind. Committed to stability that comes through with the open heart and allowing that transformation and allowing that transmutation, and the committedness to the soul, that you could trust your plan and have confidence in your gifts, talents, and abilities. The curtains of illusions are coming down. We see the red curtain beginning to kind of droop down here behind the Justice card. That is standing out to me. The illusions of what's going on in the collective will continue to be revealed. Our job is to remain stable while everyone who's not doing this level of work on themselves spirals in response to what is revealed. The only direction your spiral is going is up, the solar spiral of creation. I would love to close this off with a card from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. I didn't even have any Oracle cards out, but this one is calling here. And I'm asking for the highest and best empowering message because this card reading has represented a lot of work being done. There's a lot of things going on. And creators, you have done an amazing job here. Our empowering message today is the number 26. 2 plus 6 is 8, a number of abundance. And we got gathering around, the power of community. And I think this speaks exactly to the power of the community of creators on the Crest that I've formed here. And all of my brothers and sisters out there who are doing the work and creating community. We don't have to rush this interconnectedness. It is powerful and it flows in its own right. Nothing about the reading today has been about force, but it's the power of that conscious community that comes together online, in person, for a retreat, a group meditation. For some of you, this could be a message of reaching out to that person that you want to have in your community. We've gone through a lot of redefining and restructuring of relationships during this time, a lot in the soul groups. Your community may be shifting. Some communities are falling away while others begin to move to your forefront, to your awareness. An indicator here that it's the right thing for you is that you feel uplifted, you feel empowered in a way that is that agape kind of love. Tapping into love and acceptance, not necessarily romantic love. Could be for some of you. Could be a good time to try a new group. You might meet someone, yes. However, this is also about understanding what your soul needs next on its journey and what communities nourish that wellspring that is you. And it feels just right to leave it with that message. I don't feel a pressure, a need to share an additional action step feels very much like we can flow right into the psychic weather forecast. Creators, let me know how the tarot reading landed in you in the comments. Let's move on to this week's psychic weather forecast. Creators, welcome to the psychic weather forecast for the dates of November 25th through December 2nd. This week's psychic weather, we're going to discuss first what's cresting on the peaks of those waves, what's calming. I'll give a little bit of the astrology angle blended in, and then we'll talk about the best actions for this upcoming week. Creators, what is rising at the crest of the wave is the importance of your boundaries, all the work that you've done on boundaries. I am feeling like most of you are at a level of attainment with your boundaries where they are established. They might need a little polishing here and there. This week may bring your attention to that. You may be putting some of these boundaries that are set into practice, into communication, into responses. Some of you may be challenged with someone who tries to cross a boundary. But like I said, with all the foundational energy that I feel we've been working on, I think you're going to be able to overcome that. Alongside that, what's cresting is just waves and waves of emotional energies. Now, for some of you, this is actually going to feel peaceful because you've been doing the processing. You've been honoring that. When it comes up for you, you've been doing the work. But remember, when we're looking at the psychic weather, we absolutely know that the people around us and external of us are going to be buzzing around in the effects field, swimming around in the effects field of emotions, and may or may not know how to process that. I feel for some this is going to come up, and it could come up in you too if it's been one of the things, the challenges that you've worked on overcoming. Addiction, drug use, falling off the wagon, that kind of energy is cresting. We also have a holiday on top of it. That tends to lend itself to those temptations. We've got Saturn in Pisces, however, and I think as part of the water grand trine, it's going to be pretty quick to inform. What I'm really called to let you all know is to really watch people's eyes. The eyes will inform you. You'll be able to tell, are they on something? Do they have that unrestrained wildness? Are they exhausted? For some of you, it could be helpful to take a look at yourself deeply, gaze into your own eyes in the morning. This could be one of our action steps. Deeply gaze at yourself. What are your own eyes informing you of? But certainly as you're out and about and at holiday events, taking notes. What's cresting is more and more processing and transmutation of emotions as long as you're following the path to the heart space, the great transmuter. I think you will find that you fare very well in these energies. What's calming this week is I do feel some of the Mercury retrograde shenanigans are going to start to taper off. Thankfully, I've had my share. If you've been following along here, you know that I've definitely stumbled on quite a few things, literally and figuratively. So there might be a little breath there. I'm not saying things won't still happen, but the relationship you have to it won't be as profound or triggering or activating as in the previous weeks of the retrograde. Especially for those of you who've really been tapping into the depth. You've been going deep into the well of who you are and really finding that treasure at the bottom. Along with this calming energy, there's this beautiful peace that's woven into this where it is what it is, it was what it was, you understand, you understand, you're connected to the highest knowingness of why certain lessons had to be learned and your relationship to those lessons. And so you're feeling a greater peace because you've processed those emotions or you've done that integration and you've found yourself more neutral to those energies. Wonderful. That's a wonderful thing. It does have a calming effect. It's not so heavy. Astrologically speaking, this week from the 25th to the 2nd, I'm picking up a lot of work to do with the water grand trine. The trine energy is more gentle. It's not going to necessarily force you into anything like a square or opposition might, but it is calling you to face things, especially with Saturn and Pisces, being able to face the processing of our emotional bodies, how we're processing, making sure that we're filtering everything through the heart that can transmute it properly, that we're not allowing those unprocessed emotions to stick in the mind. We're actually doing something with those. Beautiful time to work with that energy. Beautiful time to connect on a very deep level with Jupiter and Cancer into that expansion and how it will radiate from the inside out. Also, we have the little parade of planets moving through Scorpio. So even though the sun has transitioned into Sagittarius, we still have the remnants of Mercury, Venus, Haumea, which is the Hawaiian goddess of fertility. We have these planets doing a little dance there and moving into or revisiting the depths of our psyche, of our emotional energies, and of our beingness. In summary, our psychic weather forecast for the 25th through the 2nd is rainy. Rainy because there's lots of emotional energies in ourselves and in others. The degree to which you feel this deluge, this downpour, as beneficial or difficult is directly related to the degree of work and responsibility that you've taken on yourself in transforming and transmuting the energies. Like I said, any time that you might feel pulled off course, it is okay to excuse yourself, to go dry off, or to run out in that rain and just let it shower you. Just let it wash you down. If the cries come, if the tears come, let them out. For some of you, this rain is going to feel very cleansing. For others, however, it's going to feel too much. And this could also be manifesting in the people around you, in the relationships. You may see others become overwhelmed in their own emotional energies, especially as you're coming together with family and friends. Be sure to excuse and remove yourself when you need a moment to process your own emotions internally or you feel emotionally drawn out. There is no need to rush this process. Allow these emotional energies to be distributed naturally within yourself. Eye gazing. Practice gazing into your own eyes and what messages you find there, but also watch the eyes of others. What you pick up in their eyes will inform you very deeply on where they're at. Let me know in the comments if you're already feeling this psychic weather forecast. Let's hear some celebrations down in the comments. Let's tie it back to the tarot reading with the Three of Cups that we had, and let's share together some of our gratitude, our grace, and our generosity in the comments. The way that you can be proud of yourself, what you have accomplished, how good it feels that that lesson has been learned. Creators, if today's wave brought you clarity, like and share this with your spiritual circle. Check out more ways to connect with me in the description. Be sure to set that notification bell to all so you never miss one of my lives or another tarot and tea. Say it with me now. Stay tuned, stay true, and keep creating.